Hey guys, this is going to be another quick Linux command video. Check the link in the description for more info and for copy and paste examples. The Linux grep command is used to filter for lines that contain a matching string. You can use it directly on a file, but it's also commonly used as a filter when chaining commands together with pipes. So let's give this a try. So you can say grep abc test.txt. You're going to search for that lines that contain the string ABC, and you see there's 3 lines in this file that contain ABC, right? Now the actual file looks like this, dot, so it actually looks like that. So it's only going to grep out those lines. Now, if you want to do a case-insensitive search, you can say grep-I for case-insensitive. So that's going to be about the same, but let's say if we had something with caps in there. So case insensitive shows you the stuff in caps. Remove that and it's going to be case sensitive, right? So now if you want to exclude things, you can say V to exclude them, right? And you're going to exclude all lines with ABC. Exclude case insensitive, you're going to say grep-vi. So those are the 2 most common parameters that I use with grep. Now another common use for grep is not just to search for things in files, but you can say ps-ef and you can pipe the output to grep. Now it doesn't have to be psef, you can pipe things from all sorts of commands and grep for them. Anytime you want to search for a string or match something, so you like say if you want to check if nginx is running on a system, and maybe you're not sure if it's capital or lowercase, you might say nginx. Any processes with nginx in them, you can find it like that, and you don't see a whole lot because we don't have nginx on this system. But you could say something like root. Any root-owned process, you can search for it like that. Let's say if you only want to search for stuff with the word cupsd in it. Cupsd. How many cupsd related processes? See 2 cupsd related processes right here. So that's how we can grep to filter things out. Now, there's some other stuff you can do with grep. So well, it gets more complicated, and this is actually important to know because it's pretty useful. So you can say grep, and you can say ABC, and you can say or, but by default we're just using basic regular expressions. So to use a special character like this, you have to escape it. Now I'll show you how you can get around having to do that, but XYZ, so you can grep for either ABC or XYZ in test.txt, and you can see lines that match either of those strings, right? So let's say if you don't want to do that, if you type it like this, it's not going to work, right? So it's going to be searching for the literal pipe character there, right? So if you want to get around that, you can use extended regular expressions like a -e, right? -e will basically allow you to use this pipe without needing an escape character. Now, what else? So that's extended regular expressions, don't need the escape character. And what else? You can also specify a lowercase e is going to be something totally different. You can do, this is another way you could have achieved the same thing. This is a little bit more verbose, but there are cases where this is useful too. A lowercase e specifies, hey, this is a pattern. You can actually specify 2 different patterns. So you can try to match anything. First pattern ABC, and second pattern is XYZ. So instead of having a single regex as a pattern where you try to match either this or this, you just specify 2 separate patterns and try to match either of them. And it gives you similar results. So that gives you some flexibility too. Now, you can also put your patterns in a file. So vi patterns.txt. Do I have this here already? I don't. All right, so I'm going to say ABC XYZ. Just put a couple patterns in this file. Now you could say grep-f, F to load your patterns from a file. And you don't have to call it patterns, you could call it whatever you want. And you can say test.txt. So we're going to grep any of the patterns that we have listed in this file are going to be used to search for lines in this file, right? So let's give that a try, and there we go. Works exactly as we would expect. So let's say to highlight matches with color, you can say dash dash color. And now you're going to highlight the matching portion of a line with color. Now these, the whole entire line matches, it's all highlighted. This line, only this text matches, so they highlighted this, only the matching portion is highlighted. So that's pretty useful in that sense. Now you could also say, you could do that with something more simple like this. There you go. So right, so beyond color, you can show the count of matches. So if you do just a dash C, it's going to show you how many times it was matched. 3 times. How many times that string was matched in the file. What else? So search name for each file. Okay, so if you want to grep for things in a direct, let's say grep. Okay, so you can grep everything in this directory that might contain that, and you can see. All right, the dash C will tell you how many matches are found in each of these files. You remove that, you can say, you can search for the string in any file in this directory, and this is actually a common use of grep. You say grep and use a wildcard. You can search for any of these types of files, or you could say .txt, search for any text files that contain ABC. So file 1, file 2, patterns, test.txt, they all contain that, right? Now, you can also say search for the name of each file with no match. So a dash L, all the file names with no match. So test1.txt has no matches, right? So, and the name of each file with a match, so just the file name and not the strings that actually match, will be like that. So up here, we're showing the strings that were matched in the file. So we have 2 lines shown for file 1. Here, we're just showing the name of file 1, and we're not actually showing the matched string. So we don't need to see this whole matched string, just the name of the file, right? So that's how you do that. And let's see, stop reading after this many matches, right? So you could tell it to, let's say if you were searching in here and you only want to find 1 match, so you might say dash M1, stop searching after 1 match, or 2 matches. That's all you need to search for, right? So maybe if you have a ridiculously huge file and you just want to see that it occurs a few times, that could be useful. Now let's see, if you want to search recursively, you can say grep -r in ABC, whatever you want to search for. Now you could have an asterisk to search everything in here. This is also going to recursively search for anything in subdirectories, right? But now that you do this, it's actually optional. It's actually optional, so you can actually remove the file specification. Now that we're doing recursive, by default it's going to search your current directory, and it's going to recursively search everything else. Once you're using the -r for recursive, it's optional to specify the location or the file name. So you can just specify the pattern you're searching for, and that's going to search recursively for that pattern. And that way, see, it's not going to search within other things that match, like this broken link and stuff. So that's kind of a little bit more useful to search this way too. Now echo ABC to sub1. Wait a minute, do we have a directory? Sub1 test. Okay, so now do a recursive search, and it's going to show us right here, sub1 test. So we found that there's a line inside the file test that matches our search string, even in a subdirectory. So you can recursively search a file system. So you could search any file on an entire system that has a line that matches a certain string. So you could say like grep, like say if your log directory, less or ls var log, right? Now you have a lot of subdirectories in here. Say you want to search them all in one shot. You could say rep-i error in all your log files, right? Now any log file that whoops, yeah, you're gonna want yeah, you're obviously going to need an R there. And there you go. Now, I don't have permission for most of those, but I can recursively search in directories and subdirectories for the word error. Now, some of these I do have permission for, and I can find matching strings, right? But that is how you would recursively search for a given string in a directory. So that's like a good example of actually doing that. So that's recursive, and let's see, recursively and follow. Okay, so here we searched recursively in our current directory and didn't follow symlinks. But let's say if we did want to follow symlinks, we can, I don't have any useful symlinks to follow. You could do a capital R, and that's going to follow symlinks. I think I only have broken symlinks in here. Yeah, only symlinks that are in here. You know what? This is not broken. So, anyways, so yeah. In any case, you can do that if you want to follow links, which you might have a folder structure that involves linking or some kind of elaborate setup that actually makes intentional use of that, where that would actually be useful. So let's see. If you want to search for it, say if you want to exclude, you want to do a recursive search, but you want to exclude certain files. Like you say, you don't want to search Python files, right? You could say -- exclude equals all.py. So exclude Python files. So you're only going to search in text files, not Python files. Because yeah, otherwise without that, we are matching a Python file right here, test.py, right? So yeah, that is one way you could do that. Now, worth mentioning, last thing I should mention for grep is, so remember I did -e for extended regular expressions. Well, you can actually tell it to just use fixed strings with a F, right? Capital F. Now you can do a capital G for basic regular expressions, but that's the default, so you don't need to do that. It can use a capital P for Perl compatible regular expressions. So just to be aware of those. And that's about it for the grep command. Remember, check the links in the description for more info. Hit the subscribe button for more useful content like this. We also have a ton of other more interesting content covering things like coding, hardware, software, servers, Raspberry Pis, 3D printing, and a whole lot more. Hopefully you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.